Let's start off small, and then I'll watch the longer form content. This is open letters. Trump is a global clown. I'm curious to hear. You know, Trump wants to make America great. All for that. But it probably is sacrificing relationships around the globe. But then again, I don't care because the rest of the globe doesn't matter to me as long as where I live is great. And every nation should feel the same.
में इस टाइम पर एक ऐसा लीडर है जो अपनी पावर फ्लेक्स करने के लिए कंट्रीज इन्वेट कर देता है.
Russia has again launched large-scale missile attacks on several regions across Ukraine.
छोटे देशों को बुली करता है.
Xi Jinping said reunification with Taiwan is unstoppable.
लीडर्स को ह्यूमिलिएट करता है.
Everything we discuss is leaked to the paper. That's not the purpose.
而且我们也不是那样记起。
And that's not how the way the conversation was conducted.
और ऐसी सिचुएशन क्रिएट कर देता है जिससे दुनिया वर्ल्ड वॉर 3 की तरफ एक कदम और आगे बढ़ जाती है. आप सोच रहे होंगे कि मैं पुतिन की बात कर रहा हूं. आप में से कुछ लोगों को लग रहा होगा कि मैं शायद शी जिनपिंग की बात कर रहा हूं. लेकिन करंटली वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स का सबसे बड़ा बुली है डोनाल्ड ट्रंप.
We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not.
डेमोक्रेसी रिस्टोर करने
Again, if it's for the betterment of the United States of America, sure, especially when China and Russia are trying to get a foothold there as well. In the end, it's who wants to... It's in our backyard. It's a good thing we purchased Alaska from the Russians because literally they would have a foothold in our backyard. But yeah, I mean, I understand everyone's pissed off by that, but it's just like, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm in America. If it's to protect America, sure, why not? It's not, you make it a colony. It's not going to be a state. It's going to be made a colony, most likely. It's crazy. Glass the onions, or glass the Indians. What the heck am I reading? Yeah.
के नाम पर वेनेजुएला में इसकी फोर्सेस घुसी और प्रेसिडेंट मडूरो को लिटरली किडनैप करके हथकड़ी डाल के अपने देश.
Yep. Took him right out of his own home. And that's being disrespectful. That's the thing. It's like you have to do what's best for your nation. Always. You always do what is best for your nation. And yes, one of the big perks of taking down Maduro was getting access to the oil reserves. Well, they're not really reserves because Alaska's reserves and America's reserves, those are reserves because we're not allowed to use them. But going to Venezuela, we can actually get access to those reserves. We can get access to those. So it absolutely makes sense. But at the same time, we also have like Mexico. We have several other areas in America, in American soil, in the continent, that are still causing problems. I have no sympathy for that Maduro. Yeah. I mean, in the end, it's what do the people feel? And yes, sure, America probably got a kickback from all that, a massive kickback. But the people are happy. Maybe in 5 to 10 years, their mood will change. But right now, they're happy, and that is all that matters.
वापस ले आई. अब भाई साहब कह रहे हैं कि मुझे ग्रीनलैंड चाहिए और सिर्फ कह नहीं रहे, उसे एग्जीक्यूट करने का पूरा प्लान बना रहे.
We need Greenland very badly. If we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor.
क्यूबा और कोलंबिया के प्रेसिडेंट को भी ये थ्रेटन कर चुके हैं. कनाडा को ऑलरेडी अपना 51st स्टेट बोल चुके हैं और तो और जस्टिन ट्रूडो को भी अपना गवर्नर बोल दिया था. यूक्रेन के प्रेसिडेंट जेलेंस्की को अपने व्हाइट हाउस में बुला के इस तरह से ह्यूमिलिएट किया था.
Your country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I mean, when Zelensky wants peace, Putin doesn't. When Putin wants peace, Zelensky doesn't. They're basically being children sacrificing the lives of their citizens. That they're like, if you look at it from like a leader's perspective or like a parent's perspective, if a parent is throwing their children in front of someone that's causing them harm, who's the real one at fault? And it's just like they're both problematic because there have been times. Now it's gotten to the point where there will be no peace until Ukraine sacrifices a part of its land. And then the next thing is, well, Russia saw that it worked the first time, so it'll just continue. That's the problem. It's like you have to stop it in the beginning. And neither of them were willing to when it was much easier. Now it's gone on for way too long. USA and Russia are already neighbors. Yes, because Alaska's right there. But nobody counts Alaska when they look at the map. Nobody counts Alaska when they look at the map.
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying.
okay because of
Mr.
us.
जो देश इनकी
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can say whatever you want, but America's basically been supplying Ukraine with the weapons and finances. And if we backed out, Ukraine wouldn't even be there. So it's for the betterment of the American people as well, trying to stop it.
बात नहीं मानता है उस पे अपने मन मर्जी के टैरिफ लगा देते हैं। भारत पर रशियन ऑयल खरीदने के लिए
Arbitrary.
ऑलरेडी सबसे ज्यादा टैरिफ लगा चुके हैं और अब 500% टैरिफ लगाने की बात हो रही है। एप्स्टीन फाइल में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का नाम आ चुका है और तो और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एक असैसिनेशन अटेम्प्ट तक सर्वाइव कर चुके हैं। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को अगर मैं 21st सेंचुरी का सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग पॉलिटिशियन कहूं तो ये गलत बात नहीं होगी। अभी
Because he's not a real politician. That's why he's interesting. He's not a real politician. Or else he'd be making deals with other world leaders. Or else he would making deals with other politicians. That's why he's absolutely despised by those who prefer to make deals rather than someone who's just going to be like, no, we want what's best for our nation. Alaska is far taken from Russia by USA. Is far taken? I don't know what you mean, but it was taken a while ago. It was purchased, actually, not taken. It was purchased. I think it was Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson, that purchased it for like, I think it was $4 million. That was ridiculous sum at the time. And it was like hilarious because Russia was like writing articles about how America was a joke, paying so much for a piece of land. And then a few years later, oil's found there, and oil is seen as like the #1 resource in the world. And then they like won it back. He is not a real politician. He was a business-minded person. Yeah. And what you do as a business, you try to up the prices of things in order to increase especially if you're facilitating a lot of things. Like, let's say you're a transporter and you're like cornered the market in transportation. You're going to up the prices. And if you don't like someone, you can easily raise the prices on them because who's going to stop you? The small little transportation company, when you can do it far easily and far more quickly, in the end, people will have to capitulate and bend to what you have to say. It's a business mind, and honestly, the sad thing is like religions, politics, nations, all this stuff need to be run like a business, or else they won't function over time. They have to.
की टर्म के 3 साल बाकी है और 3 साल ये पूरी दुनिया के लिए काफी रिस्की और अनसर्टेन होने वाले हैं। तो क्या इनके रहते
For the entire world. Don't care about the entire world.
दुनिया वर्ल्ड वॉर 3 को अवॉइड कर पाएगी और भारत के लिए अगले 3 साल सबसे ज्यादा मुश्किल कैसे बन सकते हैं? आज की वीडियो में इन सब पे जरा डिटेल में बात करेंगे। सो थैंक यू फॉर योर अटेंशन टू दिस मैटर। आइए देखते हैं। फ्यूचर वॉर सिर्फ बॉर्डर पे नहीं लड़े जाएंगे। टेक्नोलॉजी, एआई और डिफेंस इनोवेशन नए बैटलफील्ड है और अगर भारत को एक सुपर पावर बनना है तो यूथ को डिग्री होल्डर नहीं बल्कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर बनना पड़ेगा। लेकिन भारत में 45% यूथ ही एम्प्लॉयबल है और एआई के एरा में बहुत स्कैरी हो जाता है। इसको सॉल्व करने का एक ही तरीका है स्किल फोकस्ड टेक स्कूल, जैसे कि पोलारिस स्कूल ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी। ये टेक स्कूल इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स के
Yep. I'm okay with this ad. I guess it would be an ad. I'm absolutely okay with this. It makes sense. I mean, you're trying to push your again. He's doing for India what basically Trump is doing for the US. Just trying to push India as the #1, as the best, and there's nothing wrong with that. Trump is not a clown, but a deadly jester who might feature in a movie It. Yeah. From which state is your wife from? Northern areas. Basically, her family was. Is it dispatched or kicked out? What would the term be? Yeah. Her family was basically chased out of Kashmir. That's the best way to say it. So that it's not nomadic because you guys have a house and everything. But yeah, whatever.
साथ मिलकर स्टूडेंट्स को जॉब रेडी स्किल्स जैसे
Well, you guys didn't migrate because it wasn't by choice. Migration is normally something done by choice. It was a necessity to save your life.
एआई और कोडिंग पे ट्रेन करता है। इनके इंटीग्रेटेड बीटेक इन कंप्यूटर साइंस एआईएमएल डिग्री प्रोग्राम में हर साल सिर्फ 400 स्टूडेंट सेलेक्ट होते हैं। इनके 4 सालों के करिकुलम में सबसे ऑन डिमांड स्किल जैसे एआई, मशीन लर्निंग, फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट
Yeah, but but push your nation to do far better. Push your nation to do far better. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because in the end, I believe that everyone should view their nation as the number one. I think it's weird to look at other nations and laugh at them because every nation has their problems. Every nation has their clown politicians. Every nation has their own issues. As long as you view it from the lens of, are the people of a nation happy? Or is that like, what's going on that could be like, this is all right? Because, yeah, thinking that it'll lead to a World War III is a little far-fetched. Especially when the world powers know exactly what would become of the world because of that. So the world is fought through scrimmages around the world, like little scrimmages. They basically back their horse, and if their horse loses in that race, they're like, all right, we'll compete over the next thing. That's just how I view it. Because the non-nuclear powers.
पहली बार यूएस के प्रेसिडेंट बने थे तो ये सब के लिए काफी सरप्राइजिंग था क्योंकि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एक बिजनेसमैन थे, टीवी पर्सनालिटी थे, पार्टीज में नजर आने वाले एक सोशलाइट थे। हालांकि इसके पहले के हर इलेक्शन में ये एक पोटेंशियल कैंडिडेट की तरह दिखते थे और खुद भी कहते रहते थे कि मैं इलेक्शन लड़ सकता हूं, लेकिन कोई इन्हें ज्यादा सीरियसली लेता नहीं था। इंटरनेट पर आपको ऐसी कई क्लिप्स
Yeah, it's funny because I remember when Trump first said he was going to run for president. I was for it. Because I was tired of seeing nothing but politicians in office being politicians. I hate it. They capitulate. They don't listen to the people and do what's best for the people. It should always be what's best for the people. That should always be the number one. Donald Trump is acting like a dictator, and USA talks about democracy in Bangladesh by doing regime change, liars, and double standard USA. I don't know about that. I don't know what you mean talking about a dictator. He hasn't assaulted the people. I mean, even with the nonsense that was going on in Minneapolis, that the National Guard should have gone in and basically arrested a lot of these rioters because it was just they were preventing people from doing their jobs. They were preventing people. A dictator would have just outright gunned them down. And that's the thing. Everyone throws these terms around, Nazis, dictators, and making these words lose all meaning. Because now that Trump has been called a dictator nonstop, I don't, when I hear the word dictator, I don't care anymore. It doesn't mean anything to me because it doesn't fall for those who have killed their population, from like the Iran regime to President or Chairman Mao to like Kim Jong-un. All those have been dictators who tormented and savagely brutalized their own people to stay in power. And then people are calling Trump, who prefers to keep his people safe and prefers America being strong, and for some reason doesn't gun down the people who probably... Here's the thing. I would prefer he went farther on these crazies. These crazies who assault federal officers. These crazies who assault police officers. That those people need to be put in prison. I like how Florida does it. If you attack a police officer, they gun you down. If you're protesting in the middle of the street, everyone has the right to run you over. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. After Taliban AFG is now a better place than before, will you call them dictators? I don't know what you mean. Trump is a failed dictator. Yeah, because he's not going hard enough. He is not going hard enough. But that's the thing. No matter what, there will always be other dictators that rise and fall. But it's like trying to call Trump a dictator is just idiotic. It's just idiotic. It's like people are so used to being comfortable that they refuse to see what actual dictators have done. Because if you saw what dictators have done, it'd be like, okay, then he's just being an annoyance. That's anything. People can call Trump an annoyance. People can call Trump like just self-centered and only focused on one thing. Sure, absolutely. But to call him a dictator is just like you're out of touch. You're absolutely out of touch. Is it okay to interfere in another nation's issue or human rights violations? Isn't it work for UN? Isn't its work for UN? Well, the UN is primarily the US, but at the same time, that's why. So what happened like the last time Iran had an issue? I think it was Obama that went in, and it just caused more problems. It just caused more problems. So right now, with what's going on, the people do want the U.S. to step in, but we also don't want to do the same thing that happened before. If the U.S. needs to step in to aid a nation, it has to be like a complete in and out thing, like what happened with Maduro. You basically take the leader out entirely and don't do any more damage. Like, you don't supply the civilian population with weapons. You don't, because you just can't do that. UN is a U.S. puppet. Well, the UN really doesn't do much. The UN doesn't do much, let's be honest. The UN is a nice idea, but it does terrible execution. Trump is getting all chummy with Pakistan because his business is connected to a Dubai, well, yeah, I believe it, which has all his put in Pakistan. So Trump is ready to support a terrorist-infested country for himself. Well, of course, of course. If that's true, I mean, if he's in it for himself, I'm pretty sure if Pakistan actually had the capabilities, like if Pakistan tried to develop nuclear power, it'd be shut down. The way the U.S. tried to stop India. The same thing. The same thing. Because they can't have it. They can't have it. It's too much of a risk to have more nuclear powers, especially in the hands of more deranged people. America tried to stop India. They stopped Iran, because if with what's going on right now, the first place Iran would have nuked would have been its own nation. So U.S. has to behave like a father figure. It should. But at the same time, the U.S. needs to also take care of the U.S. It's like every nation needs to take care of themselves.
मिलेंगी जिसमें डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का मजाक उड़ाया जाता था.
Say what you will about Mr. Trump, he certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Because every time Trump built a building, he would always put his name on it, the Trump Towers. Trump getting a Nobel Peace Prize will mark the end of the world. I don't know how. It's just a random award. It means nothing. Well, I guess you get like $1 million for it. But other than that, I mean, it means nothing.
बेसिकली इनकी पर्सनैलिटी काफी कैरिकेचरिस्ट थी और इनिशियली जब ये इलेक्शन में खड़े हुए तो इन्हें एक ऐसा कैंडिडेट की तरह देखा जा रहा था जो सिर्फ पब्लिसिटी के लिए इलेक्शन लड़ रहा है, जितने वित्ते का कोई हिसाब किताब नहीं था. लेकिन धीरे धीरे ट्रंप की पॉपुलैरिटी बढ़ती गई. उनकी स्पीचेस काफी अनस्क्रिप्टेड लगती थी. मैक्सिकन बॉर्डर से आने वाले इमिग्रेंट.
That's what's funny, the unscripted. Now he uses a teleprompter for the most part, but J.D. Vance went to Minneapolis and he did everything was unscripted. Everything was unscripted, and it was just like, yes, let's get J.D. Vance in office.
के लिए इन्होंने कहा था कि ये ड्रग और रेप. इनका क्लेम था कि प्रेसिडेंट बनते ही ये मैक्सिको के बॉर्डर पर एक बड़ी सी वॉल बना देंगे. मुस्लिम इमिग्रेशन के अगेंस्ट इन्होंने मस्जिदों को मॉनिटर करने जैसी स्टेटमेंट भी दी थी. इनकी स्पीचेस काफी पॉलिटिकली इनकरेक्ट थी, जो लोगों को शायद इनके बारे में पसंद आ रहा था कि जो मुंह में आता है बोल देता है. डोनाल्ड ट्रंप हमेशा कहते थे कि उनका वोटर बेस एक साइड.
You can't say entirely incorrect because no matter what, a lot of people flew south of the border, like even the donkey route. People fly south of the border and work their way up to come into the U.S. illegally, which is why they wanted to build the wall to prevent some of this. Sure, there are some underground tunnels that the cartel used to smuggle in drugs, but at the same time, you can't say it's factually inaccurate because there were a lot of other, like, you have to stop immigration. You have to stop, well, not immigration, illegal immigration. And you have to monitor the type of bad immigration there is. You have to monitor it. You can't let people who hate your nation come in. You just can't.
वोटर है. इसके अलावा इनका जो कैंपेन स्लोगन मेक अमेरिका ग्रेट अगेन ये बहुत हिट हो रहा था. लेकिन यूएस की जो मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया थी वो ये मान रही थी कि हिलेरी क्लिंटन ही नेक्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट बनने वाली है.
Are you excited to be the first girl president?
Well, I mean, being president would be such an extraordinary honor and responsibility.
लेकिन इवेंचुअली हुआ ये कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप पॉपुलर वोट में तो हिलरी क्लिंटन से हार गए, लेकिन कई स्विंग स्टेट्स जीतने की वजह से इन्हें ज्यादा इलेक्टोरल कॉलेज वोट्स मिले और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एक्चुअल में यूएस के प्रेसिडेंट बन जाते हैं. ये यूएस की हिस्ट्री में काफी डिफाइनिंग मोमेंट बन गया और शायद वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स के लिए भी ये एक बहुत बड़ा टर्निंग पॉइंट था. और अगले 4 सालों में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने प्रूव कर दिया कि वो कोई टिपिकल पॉलिटिशियन नहीं है और ना ही उनके लिए रूल्स ज्यादा मैटर करते हैं. 2020 का इलेक्शन हालांकि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप.
Okay, so he clearly knows nothing about the U.S. history because when Obama was in office, he did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. So he's listening to a narrative because no matter what, presidents have the right to basically do a law immediately to bypass it through everything. It's for America's best interest. Oh my gosh, Obama did so many of those, like the Obama healthcare, all Obamacare, all that random crap that just caused more problems overall. What's more messed up is Trump's hairstyle or his politics. I would say his hairstyle, honestly. That looks like a toupee.
हार गए थे जबकि ये खुद मानने को तैयार नहीं थे और अभी भी कह रहे थे कि वो इलेक्शन इनसे चुराया गया है। इनके सपोर्टर्स ने भी कैपिटल हिल को रेड कर दिया था। खैर जो बाइडेन इनको हरा के प्रेसिडेंट
Yeah, okay, this is annoying. I hate it when people talk about like January 6th. Was it 6th? I don't even remember. January 6th, when you have all this other crap going on in the US and nobody talks about that. The riots and looting, burning Tesla cars, the Minneapolis, you have Chicago, you have all these states going through problems, but everyone talks about January 6th. It's so freaking ridiculous. It's like, okay, there are more than one thing that can be bad.
बंद तो गए बट इनका टर्म बड़ा अनपॉपुलर था। कमला हैरिस जो इनकी वाइस प्रेसिडेंट थी वो भी ज्यादा पॉपुलैरिटी गेन नहीं कर पाई और फिर ये वाला हिस्टोरिक मोमेंट हुआ और 2024 में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एक बार फिर से प्रेसिडेंट बन जाते हैं। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के पहले टर्म में जो एजेंडा था वो आप कह सकते हो एंटी वोक, एंटी इमिग्रेशन और अमेरिका फर्स्ट का एजेंडा था। लेकिन इनका जो करंट टर्म है वो काफी डिफरेंट है। इस बार इनके एजेंडा पर जो फोकस है वो लोकल पॉलिटिक्स से हटके ग्लोबल पॉलिटिक्स पे शिफ्ट हो गया और पिछले एक साल में ये तो काफी क्लियर हो गया है कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का सिर्फ एक ही गोल है, खुद की लेगेसी को लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए बिल्ड करना। इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा हर बड़े ग्लोबल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बीच में ट्रंप एक मीडिएटर बन के कूद जाते हैं और उसको सॉल्व करने का क्रेडिट लेने लगते हैं।
Yep, he does. He puts himself in it. He puts himself in it because he doesn't want things to escalate and doesn't want to get to U.S. troops involved. So it's honestly, it's probably better to sit them down and talk to them and hopefully come to some kind of resolution rather than sending in like the soldiers into a battlefield. And young president might make America great again. Your perspective? What? And Trump, the Trumper. Oh, can young president might make America great again? Might make. I am still reading that wrong. I know I'm still reading that wrong. But a young president, honestly, I don't like that we're hiring ancient fogies. Again, the U.S. was founded by 20s and 30-year-olds. The only outlier would have been Benjamin Franklin, but he was never president. Why do we keep hiring these, keep electing these really old men who are out of touch, especially now that civilization is moving so quickly? We have people that were there when the landline was no longer necessary. You have people there who have basically, it's just like, no, we don't need you in office. We don't. Like, that's why it's like, JP Vance, sure, I'd enjoy him because he's at least younger. He's at least younger, much younger. Trump petrol pump.
The 6 deals that we made peace and long-term, long-running wars. I didn't do any ceasefires. If I weren't around, you'd have right now 6 major wars going on. I've solved 7 wars. We ended 7 wars.
President Trump has brokered, on average, about 1 peace deal or ceasefire per month during his 6 months in office.
क्योंकि ओबामा को नोबेल पीस प्राइज दे दिया गया।
My words aren't contradictory. They aren't. I do not want the U.S. soldiers involved in anything. Absolutely anything. But if anything causes harm to the U.S., it's the same thing. I don't believe in assaulting someone, but if someone sets foot near me or is threatening my family, guess what? I'm taking them down. I have no problem with that. I view the world, I view nations the same way. Everything should be seen as that perspective. I don't know why everyone goes like, oh, it's a nation, it should be. No. What would you yourself do as a human being? That's how you have to view it. Yes, sure, I don't agree with everything that was done, but you have to look at things from like your own personal perspective. What would you do if a neighbor invaded you? What would you do if you were seeing 2 neighbors fighting and it was at risk of them pulling out guns and shooting each other? You don't want to be caught in the crossfire. And you don't want you to send your kids over there to try and settle the thing. It just makes no sense. No sense. And that's just how I've always viewed the world. I always view it in more like a closed off situation rather than this global scale. Because when you look at things at a global scale, yes, it's much bigger. Yes, there's more room for failure, but it's easier to judge things by a case basis when you shrink it all down to looking at it's like, oh, my neighbor's doing this to us. This neighbor's being idiotic. That neighbor across the street is basically gunning down its own kids. What do I do in that situation? That's always how I viewed it. None of it is hypocritical on my stances. I've always viewed it that way. Always. And yes, sometimes there are things that are done that just doesn't make sense. But then again, I'm not the one in the situation. I don't got to know. I don't know if we're great allies or somebody reached out from the nation, or I'm not involved in that. I'm not the parent of the household. I'm just one of the kids. I'm just one of the kids. I'm just told what the parent says. Are the parents always right? No. Anyone who thinks their parents are always right are deluding themselves. But I do believe that doing what's best for your family and your household, this makes sense to most people. This makes sense to most people. Doing what's best for your family and your household is what's best. Not doing what's best for your neighbors. Why would you give money to your neighbors when your house is starting to fall apart around you? Is America needed between India and Pakistan? No. America is not needed. It is not. Honestly, if America wasn't involved, Pakistan would probably be in a much worse state. Much worse state. But America has apparently had close ties with Pakistan for 40-something years? Something like that. So it's hard to deal with something like that. What do you think about the Greenland issue? Well, I guess we're going to end up with another colony. I guess we're going to end up with another colony.
था तो अब इन्हें भी ये पीस प्राइज चाहिए था.
Wars. Obama got the Nobel Prize. He had no idea why. He still has no idea. He walks around, he says, I got the Nobel Prize. Why did he get a Nobel Prize? He got it almost immediately upon attaining office.
क्लेम करने लगे कि मैंने वॉर्स रुकवा दिए, रशिया, यूक्रेन, इजराइल, पैलेस्टाइन और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के टाइम पर कह रहे थे कि मैंने फोन करके पर्सनली इन वॉर्स को रुकवाया है. फिर कहने लगे कि मैंने ट्रेड डील ऑफर करके वॉर रुकवाई है, और इसके बेसिस पर ये नोबेल पीस प्राइज की लिटरली भीख मांगने लगे.
I settled 8 wars, big ones. Some going on for 36 years, 32 years, 31 years, 28 years, 25 years. Some just getting ready to start, like India and Pakistan, where...
I hate how he says it like that. India and Pakistan have basically been at war ever since Gandhi was okay with separating them. No. That's been a long-standing conflict. A long-standing conflict. Yes, there are highs, there are lows, there's always a lull, but it always happens again. Always happens again.
Already 8 jets were shot out of the air, and I got it done in rapid order without nuclear weapons. I can't think of anybody in history that should get the Nobel Prize more than me.
खैर इन्हें पीस प्राइज तो नहीं मिल पाया, लेकिन जिन्हें मिला उन्होंने ये ट्रम्प को ही डेडिकेट कर दिया. गेस करके देखो ये लेडी कौन है. ये है वेनेजुएला की ऑपोजिशन लीडर मारिया मचाडो. डॉट्स अब तक आपके कनेक्ट हो गए होंगे. अब ट्रम्प की इतनी ईगो मसाज की है तो कुछ तो गिफ्ट इनको मिलना था. अपना ग्रेटिट्यूड शो करने के लिए ट्रम्प ने बदले में वेनेजुएला के प्रेसिडेंट मडूरो को ही किडनैप करवा लिया, और उसके बाद वेनेजुएला...
Okay. See, I'm not liking this guy, so he's seeing it from his own personal lens and refusing to accept the fact that the people of Venezuela are happy. Again, if Trump did something personal for himself, I mean, there are parents out there who are willing to sell out their family for a pat on the shoulder. There are parents out there. Just like there are nations out there, and everyone has... but in the end, I mean, if the people are happy, I don't care. I honestly don't care.
की ऑपोजिशन लीडर ने प्रॉपरली उस मेडल को ही ले जाकर ट्रम्प को दे दिया, जबकि नोबेल प्राइज को ट्रांसफर करना अलाउड नहीं होता है. तो बेसिकली ट्रम्प को वो लोग पसंद आते हैं जो इनके कहने पर चले, इनकी ईगो मसाज करते रहे. भारत ने ऐसा नहीं करा, और इसीलिए भारत पे हाईएस्ट टैरिफ भी लग चुके हैं. हार्वर्ड लटनिक, जो ट्रम्प की तरफ से अलग अलग देशों से टैरिफ की डील नेगोशिएट करते हैं, उन्होंने एक पॉडकास्ट में जाके बताया कि भारत ने ट्रम्प को फोन कॉल नहीं करा था, और इस वजह से भारत के साथ जो ट्रेड डील है वो नहीं हो पाई, और टैरिफ ज्यादा बढ़ते चले गए. ट्रम्प ने पाकिस्तान के पीएम और मोदी जी को व्हाइट हाउस में इन्वाइट किया था. वो दुनिया को ये दिखाना चाहते थे कि देखो मैंने 2 न्यूक्लियर नेशंस के बीच में वॉर रुकवा दी, लेकिन मोदी जी ने यहाँ पे जाने से मना कर दिया और इसीलिए हमारे ऊपर सबसे ज्यादा टैरिफ लगे हुए हैं। इनफैक्ट हमारे ऊपर चाइना से भी ज्यादा टैरिफ है और चाइना को तो यूएस डायरेक्टली अपना एनिमी मानता है। आप सोच के देखो कि अगर पुतिन ने ज़ेलेंस्की को इस तरह से किडनैप कर लिया होता तो पूरी दुनिया का क्या रिएक्शन हो रहा होता। अब कहने को तो कह दिया जाता है कि मडूरो एक डिक्टेटर था, अपने देश में एट्रोसिटीज कर रहा था, ये सब तो वहां पर थोड़ी सी डेमोक्रेसी छिड़कने के लिए हम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इसकी रियलिटी ट्रंप ने अपने मुंह से सबको बता दी है।
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
वेनेजुएला
Yeah, that doesn't sound wrong to me. That does not sound wrong to me. Let's make some money off of that.
के पास दुनिया का लार्जेस्ट ऑयल रिजर्व है। ये देश सऊदी और कतार से भी ज्यादा रिच हो सकता था, लेकिन अमेरिका उस पे हमेशा से सैंक्शन लगाता आया है, जिसकी वजह से वेनेजुएला की इकोनॉमी कभी स्टेबल नहीं हो पाई। अमेरिका की वेनेजुएला पर हमेशा से नजर थी और अब तो ट्रंप खुद को वेनेजुएला का एक्टिंग प्रेसिडेंट तक डिक्लेयर कर चुके हैं। वेनेजुएला के अंदर इतना ज्यादा ऑयल मिलता है, इसके अलावा बहुत सारे मेटल्स मिलते हैं, इसलिए चाइना और रशिया वाले भी इनसे काफी अपनी नजदीकी बढ़ाते रहते थे। ट्रंप को ये सारी चीज
Yep. China and Russia were basically supplementing Venezuela, and we can't have that in our backyard. We can't have two of our biggest enemies in cahoots with someone in our own backyard. So in the end, it does make sense. In the end, it absolutely does make sense. If Venezuela is going to cause more harm to the United States, take them off the map. Take it off the map. Make it not a problem. And it was made not a problem. So in the end, it's like I'm viewing it from America's perspective. He's viewing it from a personal bias of like America bad type of perspective. I prefer America being powerful. I prefer my nation being feared. I just do. I don't want people pumping drugs into my nation. I don't want people profiting off of my nation, which is why I want scammers out, which is why I want people who burn the American flag living in the U.S. soil kicked out. I want people who fly their own nation's flag over an American flag kicked out. Just like if I was living in India, I would view India as the number one priority. Honestly, sure, I'd be happy if my home nation was doing well, but I'd view India as my number one priority. Why? Because I'd be living there. Yeah, this is just common sense. This is just common sense. Most people would agree with me. The problem is a lot of people look at things through their own biases and refuse to see things from the other perspective because it's just like they're not ever planning on moving to another nation, not being happy about how that nation is doing. If I had American Army, I would too. Yeah. That's the thing. It's just like if everyone had, like, India has the strongest local defense force, basically, army that just sits in its own nation. But America has the biggest, well, it's because our bases are around the world. Our bases are around the world. And again, I'm still not a fan of that. I don't think America should be policing the world. Let the world fight between themselves. Let your neighbors take each other out. In the end, it'll be more houses for you to take over after the fact. I was like, oh, no one's living in this house anymore. You know what? Let's move some of our kids over into that house. Does it sound evil? Yes. But in the end, it's just like, you let things play out. But like something strategic like oil, something that's very, very valuable, you can't have someone on your own continent basically giving it away to an opposing nation when they're refusing to sell it to you as well. Yeah. Venezuela is better off under U.S., to be honest. I don't like Trump, but this time he did something good. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like you cannot like somebody, but there's still good things that happen. Like, no matter what, every politician does some things good and some things difficult. How hypocrite Trump can become. He was capturing Greenland of the rare earth minerals, and he was saying that he was capturing Greenland due to national security threat. Yep. But then again, I mean, we've been protecting Greenland for so freaking long at NATO, but it was the U.S. that was defending Greenland. Might as well just make it one of our own, and then it just makes sense. We don't have to pay out more to NATO forces because the U.S. forces won't get taxed for the NATO fact, because the money goes out and then just comes straight back to us because our forces are the ones that protect Greenland to begin with. So in the end, it does make sense. Again, mineral reserves, I don't care. I don't care. But in the end, it does save the U.S. more money in the long run by taking it in ourselves and not have to worry about protecting it. Like, you know, more of a money laundering, because there are more people to pay when you can just pay yourself to defend it. When you're the one defending it already. He's seeing it from an Indian perspective. Neither of you are wrong. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's just like but he's refusing to see like the other side. Like, I know if I'm in India, I'd view India as number one. I'd still be happy that America was doing great, but I'd be pissed about the whole siding with Pakistan situation, because clearly it was not out of any sort of knowledge. It was not out of any sort of knowledge, because anyone with knowledge would have been like, yeah, that's probably not the best horse to back. But then again, the U.S. and India have never had that great of a relationship. Just never have. U.S. and Pakistan have had a great relationship for a long time. You should run for president of the United States? No. I'd be bad. I'm more for J.D. Vance. Trump is acting like a property broker lately. Yeah, exactly. But you're exactly right.
पसंद नहीं आ रही थी। इनफैक्ट जिस दिन मडूरो को किडनैप किया गया, उस दिन चाइना की तरफ से एक डेलीगेशन आया था जो दिन में मडूरो से मिला भी था, और रात के 2:30 बजे अमेरिका ने मडूरो को जाके किडनैप कर लिया। तो ट्रंप ये भी दिखाना चाह रहा है कि दुनिया का जो आधा हिस्सा यानी वेस्टर्न हेमिस्फीयर है, जो अमेरिका अपना बैकयार्ड मानता है, वहां पर वो चाइना या रशिया के इंटरफेरेंस को बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे। कोलंबिया और क्यूबा की गवर्नमेंट को भी ऑलरेडी थ्रेटन कर चुके हैं कि उनकी सरकार भी गिरने वाली है। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स में इस टाइम पर सबसे बड़े बुली की तरह नजर आते हैं। वेनेजुएला के बाद अब ये ग्रीनलैंड के पीछे पड़ चुके हैं। ट्रंप ने अपने पिछले टर्म में भी थोड़े बहुत इंडिकेशन दिए थे कि मैं लेगेसी बिल्ड करने में बिलीव रखता हूं, लेकिन जो इनका करंट टर्म है वो इनका आखिरी टर्म होने वाला है, क्योंकि यूएस के अंदर
and the thing is with Venezuela is, even if the U.S. is going to be taking a lot of oil, the Venezuelan people are still going to be getting richer, because beforehand the money was the oil was being sent to Russia and China, and the people were eating rats to live. They were eating rats to live because they couldn't really make any money. But now it's kind of, hopefully at least, we'll see in 5 to 10 years how it plays out.
कोई भी इंसान 2 बार प्रेसिडेंट बन जाए तो तीसरी बार वो इलेक्शन भी नहीं लड़ सकता है, और इसीलिए अपनी लेगेसी बिल्ड करने का ट्रंप के पास ये आखिरी मौका है। इसीलिए अगले 3 सालों में ट्रंप वो हर चीज करने वाले हैं जिससे वो ये प्रूव कर सके कि वो आज दिन तक के यूएस के सबसे स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट प्रेसिडेंट है। ग्रीनलैंड को लेकर ट्रंप साफ-साफ डिक्लेयर कर चुके हैं कि मुझे ग्रीनलैंड चाहिए।
We don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor.
लेकिन ग्रीनलैंड ट्रंप के लिए इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है क्यों? क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द आइलैंड तो फ्रोजन पड़ा हुआ है, 50-60 हजार की टोटल पॉपुलेशन है। तो ये मैप देखो, नॉर्थ पोल कुछ ऐसा दिखाई देता है जिसमें से इतना सारा एरिया जो है वो फ्रोजन है। 1979 में इतना सारा फ्रोजन एरिया हुआ करता था, और अब ये कम होके इतना छोटा रह गया है। यानी यहाँ पर एक सी रूट भी बन रहा है। नॉर्थ पोल में अपना कंट्रोल बढ़ाने के लिए ग्रीनलैंड में प्रेजेंस होना सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात है। यहाँ पर ऑलरेडी कुछ चाइनीज कंपनीज माइनिंग कर रही हैं, और कुछ के लाइसेंस यूएस की प्रेशर की वजह से ग्रीनलैंड की गवर्नमेंट ने कैंसिल भी कर दिया है। कोल्ड वॉर के टाइम पर यूएस का यहाँ पर एक मिलिट्री बेस हुआ करता था जिसे उन्होंने स्पेस रिसर्च सेंटर में
I saw the movie. We have bases there.
कन्वर्ट कर दिया था। एक टाइम पर यहाँ पर यूएस के न्यूक्लियर आर्म्स भी हुआ करते थे, और अब फिर से एक बार यूएस को इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस समझ में आ रही है। ग्रीनलैंड जो है वो रेयर अर्थ मटेरियल्स के मामले में दुनिया पे 8th नंबर पर आता है। एक सर्वे के हिसाब से 34 क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स में से 25 ग्रीनलैंड में पाए गए। यानी इस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ग्रीनलैंड यूएस के लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है, क्योंकि रेयर अर्थ मटेरियल सबसे ज्यादा चाइना के अंदर मिलते हैं। अगर वो ये देने से मना कर देता है तो ग्रीनलैंड पे कब्जा होना यूएस के लिए एक इंश्योरेंस टाइप का हो जाएगा कि वो वहां से रेयर अर्थ मटेरियल निकाल सकता है। ग्रीनलैंड जो है वो डेनमार्क की एक ऑटोनोमस टेरिटरी है, यानी इनकी खुद की गवर्नमेंट है, और अगर ये चाहे तो रेफरेंडम करा के डेनमार्क से अलग भी हो सकते हैं। डेनिश इंटेलिजेंस के हिसाब से यूएस ग्रीनलैंड को इन्फ्लुएंस करने के लिए एक साइकोलॉजिकल ऑपरेशन भी चला रहा है। यानी अगर मिलिट्री के रास्ते बात ना बन पाई तो साई ऑप्स करा के या पैसे से अमेरिका ग्रीनलैंड को ऑक्यूपाई कर लेगा। और पर्सनली ट्रंप के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा अचीवमेंट होगा, क्योंकि इससे ये बात प्रूव हो जाएगी कि ट्रंप के प्रेसिडेंसी में यूएस की टेरिटरी एक्सपैंड हो गई। जबकि अगर आप देखो तो ये यूक्रेन को क्या सलाह देते हैं, उन पे प्रेशर बनाते हैं कि तुम रशिया से कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर दो।
I really don't think people would care about the territory of the U.S. Growing. What they care about is that, like, the U.S. citizens at least What they care about is if their tax dollars go down, if they're actually able to make a living, they're actually able, because my paycheck barely even pays for my living. Barely even. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely terrible. Our economy is in the garbage. Slowly it's coming back now that we've gotten some oil from Venezuela. So gas prices at least have gone down a bit. But it's again, I don't think it would matter getting Greenland. I don't think it'd be a big deal. I don't think the change or anything would really happen to Greenland, except probably more annoying Americans would probably move there. Just because. And then they'd end up moving back because they can't stand the cold. Because of U.S. sanction, Venezuela is poor. If you leave them alone, they will be rich. No. They were making a ton of money off of Russia and China, but the people got no money because it was a dictatorship. The people get no money. Just like saying the America should lessen the sanctions on Iran because the Iranian people are being killed because the sanctions made their dollar go, their value of their money go completely plummet. But the thing is, they're gunning down their own people. So who's actually in the wrong? Now they're fighting for their own freedom. They're fighting for their own independence. They want to bring back like that. So in the end, it's better that people see what needs to be done and fix their own infrastructure. Do you think Mexico is next after Venezuela, Greenland? I don't know. I hope so. My dad's from there. He hates seeing how bad and corrupt it is. He wants a change. He hates seeing things on the news and going like, Trump should just go in and take it over. That's my dad's thinking.
दो और अपनी टेरिटरी को भूल जाओ। उन्हें व्हाइट हाउस में बुलाकर उनके साथ इस तरह से बिहेव किया जाता है। उन्हें इंटिमिडेट करने की कोशिश की गई, जिससे क्लियरली पता चलता है कि ट्रंप अपने पर्सनल एजेंडा के लिए किसी भी लिमिट तक जाने के लिए तैयार है और इनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कि इनके बारे में कोई क्या सोचेगा या एक प्रेसिडेंट को कैसे बिहेव करना चाहिए। कनाडा को ट्रंप अपना 51st स्टेट बोल चुके हैं और जस्टिन ट्रूडो को अपना गवर्नर। हालांकि मेरे पर्सनल ओपिनियन में ये ट्रंप ने कनाडा को और स्पेसिफिकली ट्रूडो को सिर्फ ह्यूमिलिएट करने के लिए कहा था। वो कनाडा पे कंट्रोल नहीं करना चाहते हैं।
That's great. That's funny. I love that. Insult them. Oh my gosh. Why not the full North America? Yeah, exactly. Take it all. Just colonize them. We have plenty of colonies already. Just start colonizing more. They basically follow all the laws of the U.S., but they also have their own kind of presidents and own leaders, but they only basically follow the rule of law in the U.S., and the U.S. has their military force to aid them and rules and regulations and infrastructure that they can help them out with. But yeah, I mean, take over the entire North America. Well, we got Venezuela, so more. Just keep going down. All of North America, hit bit of Brazil, Argentina, keep going all the way down.
ट्रंप का बिहेवियर मीडिया के साथ भी कुछ ऐसा ही रहता है, स्पेशली लेफ्ट लीनिंग मीडिया के साथ में।
You just have to sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you.
CNN के रिपोर्टर को ये डायरेक्टली फेक न्यूज रिपोर्टर बोल देते हैं।
Can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay categorically?
You are fake news.
लेकिन पनामा कनाल पर एक
Yep. True. Absolutely. Especially when you start seeing the wider ramifications of things, that everything becomes kind of a joke. Everything kind of becomes a joke. It's ridiculous. So basically an American USSR, wow, how the turntables, an American USSR. We already have plenty of colonies. Absolutely. The final boss for this, Russia, China, India is the final boss for this. Yeah, after taking the entire American continents, it would be unified under one United Colonies of America.
चोक पॉइंट है जिसे रियलिस्टिकली देखा जाए तो यूएस टेक ओवर कर सकता है। यूएस को अटलांटिक और पैसिफिक ओशन के बीच एक पैसेज चाहिए था। 1904 में पनामा की गवर्नमेंट ने यूएस को ये पैसेज बनाने और ऑपरेट करने के लिए अलाउ कर दिया था। यूएस के लिए कनाल ट्रेड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और ये पनामा साउथ अफ्रीका का एक छोटा सा देश है। तो रियलिस्टिकली देखा जाए तो ट्रंप को ये कनाल लेने में कोई मेजर रेजिस्टेंस नहीं आने वाली है। और एक तरह से ट्रंप ने जो वेनेजुएला में किया है वो बाकी साउथ अमेरिकन कंट्रीज के लिए एक ट्रायल था कि अगर नहीं मानोगे तो आपके यहाँ पर भी घुस के आपकी जमीन हम कब्जा सकते हैं। अपनी लेगेसी के लिए ही ट्रंप ने कहा है कि हम गाजा का भी टेक ओवर कर लेंगे और उसको रीबिल्ड करेंगे, ताकि लोग कहें कि देखो ट्रंप ने इजराइल पैलेस्टाइन का इतने सालों का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सॉल्व कर दिया और गाजा भी डेवलप हो गया। ट्रंप की पिछली टर्म में ऐसी कई सारे डिसीजन रहे हैं जिन्हें देखकर ऐसा लगता है कि वो डिसीजंस लेगेसी को ध्यान में रखकर लिए गए, जैसे नॉर्थ कोरिया के डिक्टेटर किंग जोंग उन से मिलना, फिर ये हिस्टोरिकल मूवमेंट जब ट्रंप ने नॉर्थ कोरिया में कदम रखा था। ट्रंप के लिए रूल्स या फ्रेंडशिप ज्यादा मैटर नहीं करती। भारत का केस ले लो, वर्ल्ड में इकलौते मोदी जी ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने ट्रंप के लिए इतना बड़ा इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया, ट्रंप के लिए एक पॉलिटिकल नारा भी दिया, यूएस में भी जाकर कहा कि अब की बार ट्रंप सरकार,
अब की बार ट्रंप सरकार।
हालांकि वो इलेक्शन ट्रंप भले हार गए हो, लेकिन एक भारतीय प्राइम मिनिस्टर का यूएस की धरती में जाकर भारतीय अमेरिकी लोगों से ये कहना कि तुम ट्रंप को वोट दो, एक बहुत बड़ी बात थी। लेकिन बदले में ट्रंप ने क्या किया, दूसरी बार इलेक्ट होते ही भारत पर वर्ल्ड के हाईएस्ट टैरिफ लगा दिए, भारत पर 500% टैरिफ लगाने का प्रपोजल भी अप्रूव कर दिया है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के टाइम पर भी अपने नंबर बनाने के लिए पाकिस्तान की जगह हम पे प्रेशर बनाने की कोशिश की गई। चलो ये तो हो गई फॉरेन पॉलिसी। ट्रंप तो अपने खुद के सेंट्रल बैंक के चेयरमैन के पीछे एजेंसीज लगा के प्रेशर बना रहे हैं ताकि वो रिजाइन कर दे, क्योंकि वो ट्रंप के अकॉर्डिंग पॉलिसीज नहीं बना रहा है, टैक्स रेट नहीं सेट कर रहा है, और उस इंसान को लिटरली कैमरे पे आकर ये सारी बातें कहनी पड़ रही हैं। इसको यूएसए में एक अथॉरिटेरियन मूव की तरह देखा जा रहा है, जिसमें अमेरिका के सेंट्रल बैंक से ऑटोनॉमी छीनने की कोशिश की जा रही है। ट्रंप जब पहली बार प्रेसिडेंट बने थे तो इन्हें आउटसाइडर कहा जा रहा था, क्योंकि एक बिजनेसमैन थे, इनका पॉलिटिक्स से कोई लेना देना नहीं था, लेकिन इनका जो पास्ट है वो बहुत क्लीन नहीं रहा है। और
But that's the thing. I find it funny how he's seeing a difference between like business and politics. A nation should be run. I mean, you're not gonna. Again, if you go to like the way I always describe it of like owning a house, you're not gonna be a politician with it. It's like, oh, you know what? I'll mow your lawn if you cut my hedges. You're not gonna do things like that. What you do is you hire the local Mexican to do it. Or the neighboring kid. That's what you do. I mean, it's insane that he's talking like this. It's like you need to make business transactions, not political ones. There has to be like a paper to everything that's done. There has to be. I hate all these backroom deals, and then these politicians end up becoming like rich billionaires because they're basically selling out their own nation. There's a reason why the majority of American politicians are all millionaires, because they don't care about America. They don't. It's insane. Like there are records and reports of like the Clintons. Like they own 6 mansions. 6 mansions. They have been selling out the American people since the beginning they were in politics. Since the beginning. A lot of politicians do that. And it doesn't matter if they're on the right or the left. They will make deals with their enemies just to get a better seat at the table and to make more profit for themselves in the long run. But the thing is, that destroys the American people overall. It destroys the nation. And you have to make sure that you have to focus on at least the people. The people need to be the primary concern. Is Trump not getting richer? Oh yeah, he's getting richer. He's absolutely getting richer. But the thing is, he's not getting richer through backroom deals. His deals are in the public's eye. Everyone sees it. He's not going behind closed doors and then forcing someone to be like, oh, okay, we'll do this for you if you send an aid. No. He's just doing it outright. Doing it outright. Yeah.
बहुत सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज इससे जुड़ी हुई हैं, जो प्रेसिडेंट बनने के बाद एक-एक करके एक्सपोज होती चली गई। जैसे
I have an amazing video to recommend to you after this video. Can you take my recommendation? I have a few others that I want to get through after this, but you could send it in the Discord. You can send it in the Discord.
ट्रंप यूएस के पहले फॉर्मर प्रेसिडेंट हैं जिनके ऊपर 2024 में एक क्रिमिनल ट्रायल चला था और कि कन्विक्ट भी हो गए थे। और ये ट्रायल था ट्रंप के एक फॉर्मर स्टार के साथ अफेयर को लेकर, जिन्हें चुप कराने के लिए 2016 से पहले यानी
See, that's the thing. He's bringing up Trump, but everyone knows that Obama had relations, like a few relations with men before he was in office, like when in his high school. And the reason he got to college was because he was black. That's the only reason he got into politics and he got his degree, because most people wouldn't have passed him because let's just say if he was a white man, he would have been failed. He would have been failed. He passed because of his skin tone. So he was a complete DEI placement, the entire thing. You could say the exact same thing about Obama that you're saying about Trump. You could say the exact same thing. You could talk about their past. You could talk about, well, no, you can't, because Stormy Daniels basically became a millionaire for coming out being, I was a porn star and I slept with Trump. But the men who came out about sleeping with Obama, one of them died, wrapped himself around a tree, and the other one was completely silenced. The other one was completely silenced. And that's the thing. It's like everyone always makes a big deal about what Trump does when every other president has done things. Every other president has done stuff. Like even like the whole impeachment nonsense. People seem to have forgotten that Bill Clinton was impeached. He was impeached. He never left the White House. He stayed in office. He never left. But he was impeached. He was disgraced. The people wanted him out of office. But he never left. And people talk about all this other stuff because that's the thing. He's listening to what the media is saying, but refusing to understand the history of the U.S. to begin with. That's like the downside because it's so polluted right now. Trump is just that TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, is so infectious to people that it just becomes so easy to target him.
प्रेसिडेंट बनने से पहले ट्रंप ने उन्हें $1,30,000 की पेमेंट करी थी इनका सेक्सुअल एनकाउंटर 2000
Oh yeah, those files was the biggest. Yeah, that was the biggest. Like that's the thing I think was the biggest mistake Trump did. He promised to release them, and then he pretended like they didn't exist. It's like just release them, So now when they come out, no one's gonna believe it. No one's gonna believe it.
2006 में हुआ था जब ट्रंप ने स्टॉर्मी डेनियल्स को अपने स्वीट में इनवाइट किया था जबकि इस टाइम पर ट्रंप ऑलरेडी मैरिड थे और उनका बेटा बैरन ट्रंप अभी कुछ ही महीने पहले पैदा हुआ था लेकिन 2018 में इनके अफेयर की खबर बाहर आ गई जिसके बाद स्टॉर्मी डेनियल्स और उनकी बेटी को थ्रेटन किया गया और ये सारी जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है ये इनके ट्रायल में खुद स्टॉर्मी डेनियल्स ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड बताई है और ये ट्रंप की लाइफ का अकेला स्कैंडल नहीं है इनका नाम एप्स्टीन फाइल्स में भी आ चुका है एप्स्टीन आइलैंड पर इनकी
Again, the same thing, because Obama's on the Epstein files. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, George Clooney, Tom Hanks. There are so many people of the upper echelons of America, actors, politicians, that are all on the Epstein files. All on the Epstein files. But he's selectively targeting Trump and not being like, oh, well, I can't be too... It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
फोटोज भी आ चुकी हैं और इसीलिए एप्स्टीन फाइल्स को रिलीज करने का इनके ऊपर बहुत प्रेशर है जब रिलीज करने की बात करी गई तो उसको कई जगह से रिडेक्टेड इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ रिलीज किया गया क्योंकि फुल इंफॉर्मेशन बाहर आने पर ट्रंप इसमें बुरी तरह से फंस सकते हैं और ये बात मैं नहीं इलॉन मस्क ने भी ट्वीट करके बताई थी और बाद में इनको ये ट्वीट डिलीट करना पड़ा था क्योंकि शायद इन पे भी कोई प्रेशर बनाया गया और एप्स्टीन आइलैंड वाली खबर के अलावा भी इनकी जो पर्सनल लाइफ है बहुत ज्यादा स्कैंडलस रही है ट्रंप की पर्सनैलिटी काफी अनलाइक ऑफ अ प्रेसिडेंट टाइप है इन्होंने वो सारे रूल्स ब्रेक करे जो कन्वेंशनली एक प्रेसिडेंट से एक्सपेक्ट किया जाते हैं जैसे कि आप ये वाली क्लिप देखो
caring for the people more than anything. Like, I hated Obama as president. Yes, he knew how to talk, but that's it. He was an awful president. I'm saying it. He was an awful president. He's the food stamp president of all things. He gave money to people who didn't even deserve money, who chose not to work for a living. He was absolutely awful as a president, but everyone loved how he spoke. He was a true politician, and I hate politicians. I hate politicians.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
इस क्लिप में ओबामा बिन लादेन के एलिमिनेशन को अनाउंस कर रहे हैं और ट्रंप अबू बकर अल बगदादी के एलिमिनेशन को अनाउंस कर रहे हैं
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog.
Yep. I'm okay with how Trump is saying it. I'm okay because he was an animal. Like, there is no point in giving these heinous people like the conscience of like, oh, we have taken them out. They were a human being. No, they're not human beings. They're monsters. You have to take them out and ridicule them. So if other president were wrong, that allows Trump to be. No, my issue is he's only talking about Trump and not looking at everything Trump's doing, but at the same time, every other president has done things. And then he's talking about how Trump isn't a politician when all the other presidents that have been in the United States have pretty much done the exact same things. So it's just like his argument completely destroys itself if you know anything about about the American presidents. if you know anything about them, his entire argument falls apart. Absolutely. Absolutely. If Gandhi is ahead of Trump, Obama, I don't get that. I don't get that.
दोनों में कितना क्लियर डिफरेंस है। ओबामा काफी काम और कंपोज्ड वे में ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहे हैं, जबकि ट्रंप एकदम पेडेस्ट्रियन लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहे हैं। वेनेजुएला के टेक ओवर के बाद
No, that's the thing. It's just like, why show respect to a monster? Why? Osama bin Laden, I mean, Maduro, all these people, like these heinous people that are being taken out of the United States because the criminals, illegal immigrants are the first being rounded up. They don't belong here. They don't deserve our respect. Why does the nation think that the people should care about those who have broken the law? Why should I have respect for those that do not deserve none? I don't understand this concept. Respect is not something that's automatically given to somebody. I hate that. I hate that like Indian concept, because a lot of people in India believe that, where like respect is just something you have. No, respect is earned. It is earned and just as more easily lost. More easily lost. That's the thing. It's just like respect is something that if you have no respect for someone, why would you talk about them in such a calm manner? Heck no. Heck no. Ugh. Dude, looks like the hairy guy from the Donut Media YouTube channel guy. Me?
यूएस ऑफिशियल्स की मीटिंग हुई तो सबसे पहले किसे बुलाया गया? यूएस की सारी बड़ी ऑयल कंपनीज को। मतलब ट्रंप ये प्रिटेंड भी नहीं कर रहे कि उन्होंने ये सब कुछ डेमोक्रेसी को रिस्टोर करने के लिए किया है। वो साफ-साफ कह रहे हैं कि हमें तो बस तेल नहीं।
No, he didn't. Again, I saw the entire speech. He didn't pretend. He was happy that the whole thing was done and we're getting oil. Oil prices are going to go down. He's constantly said that. Due to Venezuela, due to Maduro being taken out, oil prices are going down. I mean, it's like, how can you say it wasn't? No, he had all the oil, like every single oil baron in that room. It was obviously about oil.
खैर, ट्रंप की प्रेसिडेंसी के अभी 3 साल बचे हैं और ये 3 साल पूरी दुनिया के लिए बहुत अनस्टेबल होने वाले हैं, क्योंकि ट्रंप अपनी लेगेसी के चक्कर में कहां तक जा सकते हैं किसी को नहीं पता। रियलिस्टिकली अगर मुझे प्रेडिक्ट करना हो तो मेरे हिसाब से ग्रीनलैंड को कैसे भी करके ट्रंप लेने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे, जिसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस काफी सीरियस हो सकते हैं। नेटो डिसबैंड हो सकता है, पनामा कैनाल भी काफी पॉसिबल है। इसके अलावा मुझे लगता है कि ईरान में रेजिम चेंज करने की पूरी पॉसिबिलिटी रहेगी, लेकिन मुझे लगता नहीं है कि ये सक्सेसफुल उतना हो।
No, there should be a regime change in Iran. There should be. America shouldn't really get involved, but at the same time, they need help. They need help. Like, the actual report from Iran is like, what, 31,000 people? Or no, 3,100 people killed. It's probably 200 times that. There's probably a ton more. A ton more. Do you respect, do I respect Trump? No, but I like what he's doing for the most part. Like, the thing is, I thought he was doing great until the whole files situation. That is where I was just like, okay, he's acting guilty. He's acting guilty. Stop acting like it doesn't exist when you ran on that. Stop acting like it's not a thing when we've heard other people, the FBI and everyone basically say that they are there. And then he's like, oh, and then he's just like, okay. Well, he's just another person, and then it's just due to his actions, he needs to earn respect back. But that alone was like, okay, no, he's gonna have to do a lot of work to basically get some respect back. He's not even watching the video I sent 4 days ago, bro. Yeah. It takes time.
पाएगा, क्योंकि ईरान वेनेजुएला नहीं है, ये मिलिटरीली काफी ज्यादा पावरफुल है। और रही बात भारत की, तो मेरे हिसाब से भारत पर हर टाइप के प्रेशर बनाने की कोशिश की जाएगी, ट्रेड, इन्वेस्टमेंट और पाकिस्तान के कार्ड के थ्रू। हम पर प्रेशर बनाने के लिए पाकिस्तान को फंड किया जाएगा और भारतीय गवर्नमेंट के लिए काफी ज्यादा ट्रिकी होता जाएगा, क्योंकि अगर आपने ट्रंप के अगेंस्ट फर्म स्टैंड ले लिया तो वो काफी अगली टर्न ले सकता है। रिलेशंस काफी हॉस्टाइल हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि ट्रंप अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है। हम पर ऑलरेडी 500% के टैरिफ को अप्रूव कर चुके हैं, और अगर कोई स्टैंड नहीं लिया गया तो मोदी जी पर सवाल उठेंगे कि कहां गई वो 56 इंच की छाती। मैं कोई फॉरेन पॉलिसी एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूं, इसलिए मुझे नहीं पता कि इसका बेस्ट सोल्यूशन क्या हो सकता है, बट इतना कहूंगा कि हमें हर पॉसिबिलिटी के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड रहना चाहिए। बाकी अगर अपने पर्सनल फ्यूचर के लिए आपको प्रिपेयर रहना है तो अपने आप को अपस्किल करना बेहद जरूरी है, इसीलिए पोलारिस का लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में लगा रहा हूं, एक बार उन्हें चेकआउट जरूर करना।
I like that. I like that. Again, he's just looking at it from one side. He's just looking at it from like Trump's reign and Biden. I guess he remembers Biden, but at the same time, Biden really didn't do anything. Everyone knows he was just a figurehead. He was a puppet the entire time. So at the same time, he doesn't recall Obama. He doesn't recall Bill Clinton. He doesn't recall George W. Bush. He doesn't recall all these other ones who did a lot of problems as well. But again, if he did like a bit more research on the others, he'd be like, oh, okay, every single president has been exactly the same. Just Obama was like one of the most well-spoken we had. Bill Clinton was pretty well-spoken as well. But yeah, they're all heinous people. All terrible people.
You guys got a video? It was so bad.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, Sandra.